Archaeologists have begun a major new excavation of the Roman city of Pompeii. It was destroyed nearly 2,000 years ago after Mount Vesuvius erupted.
These big, high, black walls, and then these quite small, intricate paintings.
In Pompeii, every cobblestone contains a story that is waiting to be discovered.
They built one particular place just for this kind of shows.
As we delve into the most recent findings at Pompeii's Insula Ten, we find a site full of secrets and surprises. But what makes Insula Ten so intriguing is the recent discovery of a strange black room cloaked in centuries of mystery.
This is a room where two beds were standing.
This intriguing chamber has inspired widespread curiosity among archaeologists and historians, with theories ranging from its purpose to the identities of its occupants. Join us as we investigate the tantalizing clues left by Pompeii's ancient residents. Pompeii and its history. Pompeii, located in Campania, Italy, was an ancient Roman city 14 miles southeast of Naples. Its destiny was sealed when Mount Vesuvius erupted, unleashing a flood of volcanic debris on Pompeii. The explosion, followed by burning clouds of gas the next day, caused mayhem throughout the metropolis. Buildings collapsed under the weight of destruction. People were crushed or suffocated, and Pompeii was buried beneath layers of ash and pumice. Pompeii lay dormant beneath its ash shroud for ages, its remains wonderfully preserved. It wasn't until the 1700s that the world was astonished by the discovery of a magnificently preserved Greco-Roman metropolis trapped in time. The finds included enormous public structures, such as a beautiful forum and an amphitheater, as well as luxurious mansions and a range of homes dating back to the 4th century BC. Within these structures were sad sights from ancient life, preserved bodies of individuals seeking safety, some buried in their desperate bid to flee, and even bakeries with loaves still baking in the ovens. The uncovered houses and artifacts provided a glimpse into the daily life of ancient inhabitants, igniting a strong interest in classical antiquity in the 18th century. Pompeii originated on a promontory carved by ancient lava flows north of the Sarnus River's mouth. Along with Pompeii, other communities such as Herculaneum, Stabii, and Torre Annunziata were destroyed. In recognition of their historical value, Pompeii, Herculaneum, and Torre Annunziata were designated as UNESCO World Heritage Sites in 1997. According to historical records, Pompeii, which was originally inhabited by Oscan-speaking people, was influenced by Greek invaders who arrived in the 8th century BC. The Etruscans left their mark on the city until King Hiron, the first of Syracuse, challenged their dominance. This prepared the way for a resurgence of Greek influence, which was followed by the conquest of Campania by the warlike Samnites at the end of the 5th century BC. Pompeii's relations with Rome began around 310 BC during the Second Samnite War, when Roman fleets landed at the Sarnus port. The city later became a Roman ally following the Samnite Wars, but rebelled during the Social War, prompting a siege by Roman commander Lucius Cornelius Sulla. Despite Pompeii's eventual incorporation into Roman society, a colony of Roman veterans was created there in retaliation for its role in the revolt. Latin succeeded Oscan as the official language, ushering in a period of Romanization in Pompeii's institutions, architecture, and culture. Notably, a fight broke out in the Pompeii amphitheater between Pompeians and Nuceria locals. However, the city's problems worsened with a disastrous earthquake, drastically compromising its infrastructure. These trials culminated in the devastating eruption of Mount Vesuvius. Pliny the Younger's eyewitness reports, written in letters to historian Tacitus, clearly detail the horrors of the eruption, including the fall of ash, pumice, and searing gases that enveloped Pompeii. The city was buried behind layers of volcanic debris, shielding it from destruction and the ravages of time for the following 17 centuries. Number 7. The Pizza Focaccia Fresco. Pompeii, located just a stone's throw from Naples, the birthplace of pizza, has recently produced an astounding find that has piqued the interest of archaeologists and culinary fans alike. A fascinating fresco has emerged during excavations in Pompeii's enormous archaeological site, resembling a pizza but with intriguing variances. This fresco, which dates back over 2,000 years, displays what looks to be a round focaccia bread on a silver plate embellished with a variety of fruits. While the resemblance to a modern pizza is undeniable, there are some noticeable differences that distinguish this ancient cuisine. One of the most noticeable distinctions is the absence of two key pizza ingredients, tomatoes and mozzarella. Given that tomatoes were not introduced to Europe until after the discovery of the Americas, and mozzarella, a cheese traditionally made from buffalo milk, most likely did not exist in the region during ancient times, it is clear that this ancient rendition of pizza differs from its modern counterpart in terms of ingredients. Instead of tomatoes and mozzarella, the focaccia-like bread is topped with fruits such as pomegranate and perhaps dates. However, one of the fruits pictured on the platter has aroused discussion among experts: a pineapple-like fruit. However, historical records show that Europeans first came across pineapples in the Caribbean during Christopher Columbus's journeys in the late 15th century, over 1,500 years after the picture was completed. This mismatch raises issues regarding the fruit's identity and role in ancient Pompeian cuisine. Further examination of the painting offers additional details about ancient cooking traditions. The bread is thought to be seasoned with spices or maridum, a herb cheese spread popular among the ancient Romans. A goblet of wine, dried fruit, and a garland of yellow arbutus are served beside the bread, implying that this meal was part of a larger feast or ritualistic gift. The discovery of the fresco provides insight into Pompeii's residents' food patterns and cultural behaviors. It is claimed to have been inspired by the Greek custom of xenia, a hospitality rite in which guests were given presents as a welcome. Such images were widespread in the homes of ancient Pompeii and adjoining Herculaneum, which were tragically destroyed by Mount Vesuvius' explosion in 79 AD. Gabriel Zuchtriegel, the director of Pompeii's archaeological park, discusses the fresco's relevance in the larger context of Pompeian society. He emphasizes the contrast between the shown meal's simplicity and its sumptuous presentation on silver trays, which represents the social hierarchy and cultural sophistication of the time. Zuchtriegel draws parallels between this ancient food and the modern-day phenomenon of pizza, which began as a simple mainstay of southern Italian cuisine, but has since blossomed into a worldwide recognized culinary icon. While some may regard the addition of fruit to pizza as sacrilegious, others, such as Gino Sorbillo, owner of one of Naples' oldest pizzerias, see it as a reflection of ancient culinary traditions. Sorbillo believes that ancient Pompeii had its own version of flatbread, topped with local ingredients such as vegetables or fresh catch from the sea. He recognizes that, while current preferences differ, the fresco provides a tantalizing look into Pompeii's vast gastronomic past. Number 6. New construction methods. Archaeologists in the ancient city of Pompeii, located in southern Italy, have made a spectacular discovery.
Archaeologists have begun a major new excavation of the Roman city of Pompeii,
An ancient building site that provides unique insights into Roman construction practices. These techniques, which were used to build iconic structures like the Colosseum and the Pantheon, have long piqued the interest of scholars and enthusiasts. The excavation site, which is thought to have been active until the disastrous eruption of Mount Vesuvius in 79 AD, provides a vivid image of Roman construction processes. Among the numerous artifacts discovered is a variety of working equipment, carefully placed roof tiles, strong tough bricks, and large piles of lime and stones, the basic building components of the ancient world. What distinguishes this discovery is the unveiling of the Romans' innovative method of cement manufacture. According to data published by the Ministry of Culture, the Romans used a unique procedure known as hot mixing to produce cement. This procedure involved mixing quicklime with dry pozzolana, also known as pozzolanic ash, with water introduced just soon before wall construction. This novel technique kept the mixture hot during the building, which accelerated the drying process and considerably reduced the construction period for monumental constructions. Gabriel Zuchtriegel, director of the Pompeii archaeological site, praised the discovery's importance in shedding light on numerous facets of the Roman Empire, particularly the widespread usage of concrete. He emphasized the importance of concrete in the construction of prominent structures like the Colosseum, Pantheon, and baths of Caracalla, as well as its long-lasting impact on the architectural environment of ancient Rome. In addition to the remarkable discoveries about cement manufacture, the excavation has produced a variety of additional items that shed light on many elements of Roman construction methods. Among these discoveries are amphorae storage jars, which have been reused to quench the lime used in plastering, as well as to hold a variety of building tools, such as lead weights for verticality and iron hose for mortar preparation. Further excavation activities in Region 9, Insula Ten, have revealed more evidence of an active building site in antiquity. The discovery of tally marks engraved into the plaster of a tablinum, combined with traces of a still life representing a focaccia and a cup of wine, provides insight into the ancient builder's everyday activities. Traces of continuous construction works can be seen in surrounding structures, where vast piles of stone rubble and broken amphorae demonstrate the scope of the project. Collaboration between archaeologists and material scientists at the Massachusetts Institute of Technology has led to a better understanding of Roman construction processes. The research team's idea of hot mixing calls into question standard notions of cement manufacture, opening up new possibilities for scholarly inquiry. Number 5. Human tragedy. The ancient city of Pompeii was frozen in time by a cataclysmic volcanic explosion. Recent investigations at this archaeological treasure have revealed heartbreaking stories of human tragedy, providing views into the tragic final moments of its residents. The grisly discovery of 3 skeletons just meters away from a cooking oven portrays a stark image of desperation. The remains of 2 ladies and a little kid aged 3 to 4 years old were discovered sprawled on the floor, their bones broken by the weight of crumbling structures. These victims had sought refuge in one of the chambers to escape the rain of pumice stones unleashed by the eruption, only to perish beneath the crushing weight of the collapsing roof. The director of Pompeii Archaeological Park, Gabriel Zuchtriegel, reflects on the tragic scene, emphasizing the severe casualties caused by the toppling building. The tragic fate of these people, he claims, emphasizes the innate response of seeking cover during the eruption, a hopeless attempt to protect themselves from nature's relentless fury. But the horror doesn't stop there. In another part of the house, apparently a simple bedroom, the charred remains of a bedstand, as a chilling reminder of the inferno that devastated Pompeii. The fire has destroyed the bed, leaving only a silhouette engraved onto the walls and floor, as a heartbreaking reminder of lives lost and hopes broken. Pompeii, which is frequently romanticized as a remnant of antiquity, was actually a location of terrible human agony. The actual toll of the accident is unknown. However, estimates imply that thousands of people died in the catastrophe. The finding of remains, estimated to be 1,300 to 1,500 in total, highlights the tragedy's scope. Further examination of the discovered remains exposes a little-known component of the disaster: the fatal tremors caused by the volcanic explosion. 2 further skeletons, described as middle-aged men, testify to the seismic activity that preceded the eruption. Crushed by stone from a crumbled wall, these souls perished in a severe earthquake caused by the horrific events unfolding atop Mount Vesuvius. Sophie Hay, an archaeologist working at Pompeii, gives insight into the events that led to the men's deaths. The collapse of the wall, she continues, is a sign of seismic activity, occurring early in the eruption when the earth convulsed with unfathomable fury. The arduous excavation procedure, carried out by trained archaeologists, reveals not only the human toll of the calamity, but also the resilience of the city's residents. Among the wreckage, traces of everyday life emerge from Roman vessels, cooking pots, and indications of continuing repairs, demonstrating Pompeii's standing as a thriving urban center. Number 4. Lararium with stucco snakes. Archaeologists have discovered the lararium, a sacred sanctuary where Pompeians surrendered their deepest hopes and prayers to the gods. The lararium was adorned with exquisite embellishments, including 2 painted stucco snakes, which were emblems of prosperity and good fortune in Roman culture. It served as a spiritual focal point, promoting a connection between the living and the divine. This excavation makes a return to a section of Pompeii that had been virtually unexplored since the late 19th century. However, the entire region, including the Domus residence, has just recently become completely visible to modern eyes. Director Zuchtriegel emphasizes the difficult balance between excavation and preservation, noting the irreversibility of the process, but also recognizing the need to leave some mysteries unsolved for future generations to discover. As the excavation advances, more extraordinary discoveries emerge, including incredible artworks concealed behind layers of lapilli and ash. A stunning mural representing a scenario from the Achilles myth appears in one of the rooms, protected by a sheet. The fabled hero, known for his invulnerability except for his heel, is shown attempting to disguise himself as a woman in order to avoid the dangers of the Trojan War. This piece provides a glimpse into the complex fabric of Greek mythology that pervaded Roman society. Another chamber, hidden beneath still another tarp, is a stunning shrine ornamented with relief sculptures of 2 serpents against a brilliant burgundy background. Alessandro, one of the excavators, explains that these serpents are beneficent spirits who who act as intermediaries between the mortal and celestial realms. He points to a fresco close above an aperture, showing that this chamber is also used as a kitchen. Offerings of fish and fruits would have been made to the gods here, with the serpent serving as a symbol of the connection between the earthly and divine realms. Now a brief pause to reveal our subscriber's pick. Latest discoveries at Pompeii's Insula Ten include a mysterious black room. Archaeologists in Pompeii discovered a magnificent banquet hall filled with mythological imagery associated with the Trojan War. This lavish hall, previously used for eating and entertaining, was part of an affluent private mansion located in Insula Ten of Regio 9, hidden behind a laundry excavated in the 19th century, as well as a little atrium house and bakery uncovered during recent excavations in the area. The banquet hall, which measures around 15 meters long by 6 meters wide, is decorated in the Third style, a popular artistic style in the first part of the 1st century AD. The dark walls, which were likely intended to disguise stains from lamp smoke, are embellished with complex frescoes regarded by specialists as among the best ever discovered at Pompeii. The mosaic floor, which contains over 1 million tesserae, adds to the majesty of the area. Many of the figures represented in the frescoes are linked to stories from the Trojan War, notably those concerning fate and destiny. Notably, one scene prominently depicts Cassandra, Priam's daughter, who is known in Greek mythology for her gift of foresight and the curse that causes her prophecies to be disbelieved. Opposite her sits Apollo, the god whose approaches she appears to refuse, prompting him to curse her in retribution. Another compelling image depicts Helen and Paris, the main people whose romance ignited the Trojan War. The Greek inscription between the figurines names Paris as Alexandros. In addition, a fresco depicts the Aetolian princess Leda, with Zeus disguised as a swan, signifying the coupling that produced Helen. An ancient Roman banquet hall with frescoes inspired by Trojan War stories has been revealed, marking a momentous find in Pompeii. The 15 by 6 meter compartment was recently discovered as part of attempts to strengthen the boundary between excavated and unexcavated parts of the site. Pompeii's archaeological park, located near Naples, Italy, preserves sites buried in ash following Mount Vesuvius's eruption in 79 AD. During Pompeii's heyday, the Black Room opened onto a courtyard with a staircase to the first level. The frescoes within, which depict Trojan War heroes and goddesses, were most likely intended to entertain and encourage conversation among guests. Gabriel Zuchtriegel, director of Pompeii's archaeological park, noted that the paintings used optical techniques to draw visitors in with the flickering light of oil lamps during nighttime banquets. The frescoes show scenarios like Apollo attempting to seduce the priestess Cassandra, whose refusal resulted in her prophecies being ignored. Another scenario depicts Prince Paris meeting Helen, which Cassandra predicts would have fatal repercussions. Zuchtriegel observes that these legendary myths elicit views on fate and individual decisions, linking parallels with contemporary socio-economic difficulties. Excavations in Pompeii continue to provide details about ancient life. In addition to the banquet hall, archaeologists discovered a large mound of building materials beneath the staircase arches, as well as charcoal drawings of gladiators and what looks to be a stylized phallus. The continuing excavation, which is not yet open to the public, emphasizes Pompeii's importance as a window into Roman Empire culture and everyday life. Further investigation in Pompeii revealed interconnected structures such as a laundry, bakery, and large mansion thought to be held by Aulus Rustius Verus, a wealthy politician. These artifacts provide views into ancient urban life, ranging from extravagant banquets to the grim reality of enslavement. What more secrets could be hiding in the ruins of this medieval city? Let us know your opinion in the comments below. Number 3. The Bakery Prison. The ongoing efforts, which are part of a larger project to secure and preserve Pompeii's unknown sections, have revealed a bakery prison, a location where enslaved workers and donkeys were held and exploited to create bread. This bakery prison, located within a house being renovated, provides a look into the terrible circumstances that many people faced in ancient Pompeii. The home, divided into a residential part, ornamented with 4th-style paintings, and a productive quarter containing the bakery, was far from empty at the time of its demolition. Recent finds, including the remains of 3 victims, indicate that people were still on the grounds when Mount Vesuvius erupted in 79 BC. The bakery prison itself evokes frightening images of ancient servitude. The tight room, devoid of outside vistas, had small windows high in the walls, locked with iron grates. These windows, which were designed to allow in little light, also acted as a reminder of the residents' limited freedom. Furthermore, the floor has indentations, which were most likely used to coordinate the movement of blindfolded donkeys and enslaved humans forced to work for hours on end. Gabriel Zuchtriegel, director of Pompeii's archaeological park, remarks on the dismal truth revealed by these discoveries. He emphasizes the cruelty of ancient slavery by pointing out the lack of trustworthy ties and promises of manumission. The bakery's layout, with its lack of doors and connectivity with the outside world, emphasizes the intentional restriction of movement placed on persons with slave positions. The milling area, located adjacent to the stable and marked by feeding troughs, provides additional insight into old labor habits. Semicircular indentations in the volcanic basalt pavement slabs, initially assumed to be natural wear, were most likely intentional engravings designed to direct the animals and keep them from slipping. This configuration, detailed in literary texts such as Apuleius's Metamorphoses, alludes to the painstaking coordination required in ancient milling processes. The worn patterns in these indentations represent the never-ending cycles of labor experienced by both humans and animals. Director Zuchtriegel compares the markings to the gears of a clockwork device, which represent the synchronized movements around the millstones. Such finds are a heartbreaking reminder of the hardships endured by individuals who lived and worked in ancient Pompeii. Looking ahead, the planned exhibition, The Other Pompeii: Common Lives in the Shadow of Vesuvius, intends to highlight the often overlooked contributions of individuals, notably slaves, to Roman society. Archaeologists and historians use these micro-stories inside Pompeii's great story to pull together a more complete picture of ancient life and the impetus for societal transformation. These new excavations in Pompeii have discovered not just physical vestiges of the past, but also emotional reflections of the human experiences interwoven within the city's remains. Number 2. Election posters. Among the numerous archaeological discoveries in Pompeii, election posters stand out as extraordinary evidence of the political dynamics of the time. These discoveries provide a new perspective on Pompeii's electoral processes and civic engagement. These election posters not only educate us about the annual frequency of local elections, but also indicate the eligibility criteria for voters, which were limited to free, emancipated male residents. Furthermore, these posters provide critical information on the candidates running for political office, including their activities. Interestingly, several of these candidates were also homeowners, with election posters prominently placed on their homes. The intertwining of personal houses and political campaigns provides important evidence for recreating the social fabric and identifying noteworthy persons in ancient Pompeii. By delving deeper into the lives of these individuals, we can gain a greater understanding of ancient Pompeii's socio-political landscape. Booking a guided tour with a professional guide is strongly advised for people who want to immerse themselves in the world of ancient Pompeii and learn about its notable figures. These skilled guides can provide fascinating insights into the historical relevance of numerous archaeological discoveries, including the most recent disclosures regarding election posters. Traditionally, election posters in Pompeii were frescoes painted on the outside walls of dwellings and public buildings. These posters, designed as propaganda weapons, were deliberately developed to attract residents' attention and influence their voting decisions. Archaeologists were surprised to discover an electoral poster inside a house rather than outdoors. Scholars have provided plausible explanations for this unusual discovery. It is thought that the candidate may have held gatherings and activities within the home, inviting friends and supporters to rally behind the campaign. This novel technique of political campaigning demonstrates the skill and adaptability of ancient Pompeii politicians. The discovery's location, within a home in Regio 9W Insula Ten, adds to the mystery. A shrine ornamented with plaster snakes stood next to the election poster, along with remnants of figs, dates, and an egg, probably representing the last sacrifice before Vesuvius erupted. Further excavation within the residence uncovered the presence of an antique bakery, which provided tantalizing insights into Pompeii's political and economic interconnectivity. This study supports the widely held belief that vote trading was frequent during elections, with candidates using their power in all sections of society. Aulus Rustius Verus, a notable contender featured in the election platform, aspired to the office of aedile. His name is not only immortalized on the election poster, but also carved on a millstone within the house. Number 1. Children's drawings. Children's drawings uncovered at Pompeii provide a fascinating view into the life of young people in antiquity, offering light on their exposure to violence and fantasy worlds. These sketches, discovered within the walls of Pompeii's archaeological park, provide an intriguing story of young inventiveness and the realities of their surroundings. These drawings, which date from before Mount Vesuvius's cataclysmic eruption, are thought to have been created by children about 5 to 7 years old. They adorn the walls of a back chamber in the archaeological site's residential area, providing a glimpse into the thoughts of Pompeian children. Gladiatorial combat and hunts for wild animals dominate the pictures. Two gladiators, armed with spears, fight a violent struggle against what appear to be wild boars. Adjacent to them is the head of a bird of prey, presumably an eagle, emphasizing the motif of violent conflict. Another image shows boxers engaged in conflict, with both competitors appearing knocked out on the ground, a vivid illustration of the physical intensity seen in ancient arenas. But despite the savagery, there are moments of innocence and humor. Childlike hand outlines in charcoal and characters engaged in ball sports provide a counterpoint to the scenes of conflict. A nearby wall displays an even older drawing, created with a red mineral pigment, implying the involvement of an older youngster. This image depicts a maritime scene with 2 ships and fantastical fish. The intricacy of this artwork hints at Pompeian children's developing artistic ability as they grew older. However, the discovery of these sketches raises sensitive issues about the lives of Pompeian youngsters. Superintendent Gabriel Zuchtriegel emphasizes the grim truth that children in antiquity were not immune to violence. Rather, they were subjected to the violent side of the arena, where bloodshed was more than just a theatrical act, but a grim reality. Intriguingly, Pompeii Park has begun a collaboration with the Department of Child Neuropsychiatry at Naples Federico, the second university to investigate the relevance of these drawings. Preliminary findings indicate that the children's work may have been inspired by first-hand observation of violent occurrences rather than imagination or artistic models. This discovery provides a painful insight into the long-term impact of violence on young people's psyches. Furthermore, the ongoing excavations at Pompeii continue to produce amazing finds. The petrified bones of a man and woman, locked in time by the eruption, serve as a devastating reminder of the disaster's human cost. Furthermore, a painting representing a kid surrounded by symbols of richness and vitality, a moving tribute to lost innocence, enhances our knowledge of life in ancient Pompeii. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for more.